Hi, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. I'm going to demonstrate this trade example for you here. And what I did was you see how we had this overlap way away from the EMA. Prices broke lower in reverse, so I put my buy stop right above that and bought right there. And I went in here really big because we've been so far away from the EMA. This is a really strong support area. And I really like this. We may catch the low, but at the very least, we should get a pull back to the EMA here. So I went into this trade really big, probably bigger than I should have. Um, but I really like this setup. This is one of my key setups that I just love. When you get this far away from the EMA and you get that overlap, the odds are really high that we're going to break lower below that, trap a lot of shorts, and then move higher. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not going to give this a lot of room. Actually, I'm going to give it 2 ticks there. Just on this scalp alone, scalping out here with the majority of my contracts is going to make me $900. And then I'm going to save these 2 runners, and maybe even we'll see how we're going to manage those based on what prices do. But this is basically, depending on how the runners work out, maybe $1,000 trade and just a couple of, hopefully just a blink here. Hopefully we're headed that way now. All my phones are ringing. I usually turn my ringers off, but this trade set up so quickly that I didn't have time to even get the recording started before I got triggered on it. So, but again, just to explain to you what we had, we were way away. You see how long it's been? We hadn't touched the EMA since way back up here at 1343. And we had a strong support area that we went right through and then went into congestion, and then we were still way away from the EMA. EMA was back up here when I entered this trade, and we broke lower first and then reversed, and there was a nice opportunity to get long at the very low down here with the idea that we're way overdue to come back to the EMA plus this strong support. I know there's a lot of buy orders sitting all down through here. And so far the buyers have not really taken control of this, but I still like this trader. I would go ahead and exit with a couple of ticks. I mean, you see I could exit now and still make $200 to $500. And I don't always go in with this many contracts, but I really like this setup. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Come on, buyers. We got a little gap here. It wouldn't shock me at all to see them come down there and fill this before we go higher, because this could make a low of the day, and that's why I really like keeping some runners rather than just scalping completely out of this trade. All right, there's the trap. Let's hope. The way that ticked down there and bounced instantly. Was a good sign. Come on, buyers. Just need a couple of ticks here. Some buying going on now. We got that. We trapped a lot of shorts right here, but I guarantee you we trapped a good bit more right here. All right, we just need a couple of ticks here, maybe even one, because my order's been sitting there a while. And again, this scalp portion. All right, we bounced off our order there, and this is where we could get some. We're gonna get some resistance here. All right, we got out of there, so we made $900 on the scalp, and we still got the runner going. But what I'm going to do here, I don't know why my order didn't go to break even. We're not going to, what I'm thinking is going to happen, we're going to at least pull back to right here and test this. So I'm going to try to get out of this. I'm going to stick to my 2 points, see if we can get 2 points here. Actually, I do need to come down a tick to get 2 points. We're probably going to turn back down here. I probably should exit right here, but that's the whole idea behind the runners, is to try to catch a low or try to catch a high. But I've already made $900. It'd be nice to close this trade here with around $1,100 profit. But that's, I mean, hopefully you understand why I like that trade, and that's the thing. It's so scary to buy down here if you don't understand price action, because look at that big move down. But you know, for one thing, we're way overdue for a pullback, and the place it's going to happen is down here. They trapped all these shorts in here, running prices through that area, and I guarantee you a lot of people were getting short down here because there was a lot of buying going on, and prices, it took them a while to move. So you know that there was a lot of buying and a lot of selling going on in there, and you can see they're still trying to take it higher. They're not satisfied. And we locked in. What happened here? Here we go. We're actually going to make 3 points on these runners if we can exit on these runners. I just don't think we're going to make it though without a pullback first. Come on, buyers, keep it rolling. Rather than let this trade get too long, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap it up. You can determine what happened on your own. I'm either going to exit right here with 3 points, or I'm going to end up getting, let's move this up so we get 2 points. So I'm either going to make another 2 points on these 2 runners, or I'm going to make 3 points on them. So there's no sense in getting greedy here. I'm just thinking about closing this. I was hoping it would take on off. They may do that yet, but I'm really expecting a lot of resistance right across here, and I'm really expecting that we're going to go to here, but we may pull back first, and I'm not going to give back a bunch of my money here. Pretty much going to make 1,000 to 1,100 to, here we go, there we go, right off our order. Come on, come on. And we can't exit right there. That's where all the resistance is. Come on. If we can get out of here, it's going to be a $1,200 trade. But you can see that's where everybody's looking to get short. There's a lot of resistance right there. That's because we got that previous high right there. Come on, one more shot at it. Well, we're going to miss it by a half a tick. We just needed to tick through that order there to make it happen. All right, I'm on. We're stopped right here. We're either going to get 2 points or 3 points. I'm not giving it, not going to get back any of my cash here. Here we go. We may get our 3 points yet. Okay, we got stopped out there. All right, we made $1,100 on that trade. And again, I don't normally recommend going in as big as I did there, but this was a beautiful setup. And you see how easily it worked. And I really took no heat at all. I took 1 tick of heat when it ticked back here, and that didn't bother me because I expected that could happen simply because they like to trap people when they can't get it moving like they want. They'll let it fall back and trap a lot of shorts and then take it in the other direction. So, but again, let me just discuss why I did what I did. Hopefully you'll understand it. This was strong support all yesterday afternoon into the overnight. And so you know there's a lot of resting buy orders that have been building here. So if prices come down here, a lot of people want to try to get long here. And this is probably going to be a trading range day. My guess is we're going to be trading back up in here before too long. Excuse me. We'll have to see. I don't know that for certain. We could end up going lower here before it's all over. But my guess is we'll be trading back up in this area here before the end of the day. Because it does look like a trading range day, but this is very strong support here. And you know that there's going to be resting orders, buy orders that start right about in here. And you can see the buying started right in here, but there wasn't enough. Most of the smart traders were expecting to come back and fill this gap right here. And let's just see if they, see how we never came back and tested this breakout area right here. Prices always find a way back, and you see that's, we didn't quite get there, but that's close enough. So we'll probably come back down here. We may come back there and test these lows again. But anyway, I was expecting a bounce because of all the buy orders that would be probably a point to a point and a half, maybe even 2 points below these strong support area right here. And the other thing was, look how far away we were from the EMA. The EMA was way up here and prices were way down here. So with our support there, knowing there's a lot of buy stops in here and knowing that the prices are way overdue, look how far we hadn't been back to the EMA since way up here. The odds were, and you start to get this overlap, and what happens is prices normally will break out one side and fail. So this little doji thing allowed me to get long at the very low of this move. And so I was long right there at the very low of this move, expecting that prices were going to go back and test the EMA. And that's exactly where prices went. We actually went a little above the EMA. We actually went back and tested the breakout area across here. And so that trade was such a great setup that I probably should not have gone in as big as I did, but I loved the setup, and I felt very confident it was going to work. I mean, when you watch prices, when you stick to one market and you watch it over and over and over, you get to where you know that market very, very well. And I know this market like the back of my hand, and I get tricked sometimes. Don't take that the wrong way. Everybody gets tricks. There's no such thing as not. If you're going to be in this business, you got to take losers occasionally. But I don't have that many losers because I'm not constantly entering the market. I only enter high probability trades where the odds are on my side and where I know that 9 times out of 10 I'm going to make money. And that's my goal every day. And you can see right there that you don't have to take a lot of trades to make a lot of money. I made $1,100 on that trade that we were in about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. And I didn't have to enter that trade that long. I could have gone ahead and exited, but I was hoping to catch a low and catch a runner and maybe catch one of them that runs out of here and takes off for good. And actually my runners would still be safe here, but because the market has been trending down and we don't quite have a measured leg yet and we didn't quite test this breakout area, there's a good chance we're going to come back down here and test this again. So I wasn't going to give my money back. If I can walk away with $1,100 or $1,200 for one trade, then and I don't recommend you trade that big. Definitely when that you're not very experienced, you need to start off trading singles, doubles. You really need to trade doubles if you can afford it, because that's the way you can get the runners. Otherwise, if you're just scalping all the time, you got to be really good. You got to win more times than you lose just to scalp out every time. But with runners, that's your gravy train, and that's where you make your extra money on your best trades. And so you don't have to have a high win percentage, as high, I shouldn't say a high win percentage, but you don't have to have as high a win percentage. And so hopefully that makes sense to you. But again, hopefully you understand why I took this trade. And I posted an article yesterday about how to determine where buy and sell orders are on your chart. And that's part of the strategy here, me knowing that there's a lot of buy orders here and that there's going to be some buying coming in the market when prices get here. And so I was ready for that and expecting that. And you see how it worked out. So, but anyway, it does look like we're going to come down here and test this area again, and we could continue trending lower for the day. That's a distinct possibility. But we've got this first leg down right here is what I'd call that, and so we're real close to having a measured leg here. So we'll just have to see what happens. But measured leg actually puts us right into testing this previous resistance area here. And if you were to consider this a trend line right here, if you draw your trend line, which I think it's probably right down through there somewhere, you do see we have a break here, so we're probably going to get a run to a new low before we get a reversal out of here. But my deal was I was not necessarily looking for a reversal. I was just looking for a good enough bounce that I could get a point or two out of it on a big trade and make my money, most of my money for the day. So anyway, we're into 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap this trade up. This is Matt with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. Hope you enjoyed watching this trade. And again, I don't normally go in that big, but so I want to clarify that. Normally I trade anywhere from 5 to 10 contracts. Very rarely do I do a double like that and trade with 20. But it was just such a great setup, I couldn't pass it up. And you see how well it worked. But one thing is you don't want to get too greedy. But at the same time, my strategy that I believe in is that it works. It's better to take only a couple of trades every day and get the best trades than it is to take a lot of trades. And so the way to make your money, if only taking a few trades, is just to increase your contracts. And you see, of course, if I had been wrong, I could have lost big there, but you saw I never even took any heat on that trade at all. It was in my favor from the get-go. I think I did take one tick of heat right there. Otherwise, it was in my favor the entire time, and I expected that because it was such a great setup. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. This is Matt with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.